Last month, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced that Facebook will be known as a Metaverse company, raising countless questions from shareholders. What does this mean for the business? How does this play into the strengths of Facebook's most lucrative platforms, Facebook and Instagram? Oh, and maybe, Mark, do you have a short circuit? What the heck are you talking about, and what is a metaverse? Hello and welcome back to Enginomics, my channel that stands at the corner of technology and economics. I'm Hank. When Mark Zuckerberg said that Facebook is a metaverse company, it sent a very clear message to the industry where one of its biggest players sees the future of social media and communication going. One that's kinda hard to picture without a solid grasp of the factors surrounding it. Luckily, I did my best to distill this weird digital world of the future down to pixel-sized chunks so that we can all kind of understand what the next decade of this technology might look like. If you're unfamiliar, the concept of a metaverse goes far beyond Zuckerberg and Facebook's buzzword. The term metaverse was coined by science fiction writer Neil Stephenson in his 1992 novel Snow Crash. In it, it's described as a virtual world standing apart from the physical. Individuals armed with augmented reality headsets are able to experience the digital world in first person and in real time. In plucking this term straight from the novel, Facebook and many other tech players are aiming to create an engaging and convincing digital world, seamlessly bridging it with our own. That said, this is ultimately easier said than done. Facebook's flagship quote-unquote metaverse company is Oculus, which was acquired in 2014 for $2 billion. This is double the $1 billion purchase of Instagram in 2012, and you tell me which one is more profitable. Actually, I will. In 2020, 98% of Facebook's revenue came through advertising, and the measly remaining 2% came from that of the sales of products such as that of the Oculus Rift and other Facebook devices. It's pennies on the dollar compared to the actual ad revenue, but this makes Mark Zuckerberg's recent reaffirmation of being a metaverse company even more interesting. For now, providing ads to its over 3 billion users proves far more profitable. But creating, operating, regulating a self-contained digital ecosystem capable of creating unique, tailored experiences is potentially game-changing. With those numbers out of the way, what are they pouring this money into? Well, on the surface, it just seems like a cool way to play lightsaber drums and shoot guys like you're in the Matrix, both of which are very cool, by the way. I own an Oculus Rift system, which I don't have. I'm in the midst of moving right now, but I absolutely love the immersion that this system can bring to gaming. The long-term viability of Facebook's plan goes much, much deeper though. Earlier this year, Oculus showed off a digital conference room where avatars can point, draw, move, and emote around a digital table. While this is rudimentary for now, the experience is a precursor of what's to come. When questioned about this technology, Zuckerberg said, "Technology that gives you the sense of presence is like the holy grail of social experiences, and what I think a company like ours is designed to do over time." And this is why Facebook purchased a seemingly unrelated virtual reality startup like Oculus. It could become the next step in how we communicate digitally. Facebook and other companies are racing to become the tentpole organizations holding up the digital world of the metaverse. If you control the means, all the other players have to go through you to even participate. This scenario is akin to companies like Apple's iOS App Store, which takes 30% of the revenue on all apps and all in-app purchases. For now, at least. You might have to talk to Epic about what they think about that. Facebook has a lot to gain from similar moves. If they can control the means of distribution, they can position themselves as the go-to experience, much in the same way that Apple positioned themselves at the center of an emerging cell phone and app market. Already, their headset is the most ubiquitous and accessible out there. It has sold more units than any other headset brand. They even have that 30% developer fee for their proprietary app store. And like streaming services and other console developers, they are purchasing titles as exclusives for Oculus only. But I plan on talking about the economics of the metaverse in another video. For now, what you need to know is that Facebook aims at building this metaversal foundation, which can be great for moving the industry as a whole forward. Every incremental step in metaverse technology moves the world towards a more engaging, socially connected, digital landscape. However, we have to talk about some of the downfalls of this technology in a segment that I'm calling Facebook is bad sometimes. And after last week's whistleblower tell-all, it's now Facebook is bad most of the time. It doesn't exactly flow off the tongue though, but neither does Cambridge Analytica, so let's go. Facebook has a less than stellar track record when it comes to three of the most important aspects of business: privacy, misinformation, and the psychological effects of their social media applications. These problems bring up many concerns with a platform like the metaverse. With something as universal and as far-reaching as a metaverse, ensuring privacy of the users should be a #1 priority. In a future video, I'll talk about the economy of a future metaverse, which will most likely run on blockchain and cryptographic technology. However, Facebook has a vested interest in ensuring that this doesn't happen. Like controlling the on-ramps to the metaverse with its technology, controlling the first bank of cyberspace is also their priority. But put this in the hands of a company which will sell your data for pennies to morally shady, democracy deteriorating organizations, and they have a lot to improve in the realm of consumer trust. And the same goes for misinformation. This has been brought to the forefront of public attention with the recent whistleblower reports with damning studies conducted by Facebook that their platform's misinformation efforts aren't close to being as effective as necessary. It hardly needs to be said that an even more engaging, more convincing platform will have the same difficulties with misinformation, and in the same vein as misinformation, consumer health as well. Studies show that consumer health in general is disastrously affected by Facebook's platforms. In Frances Haugen's recent Senate hearing, she says that the profit-optimizing machine is generating self-harm and self-hate, especially for those vulnerable groups like teenage girls. The persistent and inescapable nature of a metaverse runs the risk of exacerbating these exact trends. While I know that these bleak points may convince you that we're heading towards a Brave New World or Ready Player One style dystopia, there are a lot of individuals to making sure that this isn't the case. Facebook, love 'em or hate 'em, is putting an absurd amount of effort and capital at a potentially game-changing technological trend. But for now, the question is if they can be trusted to do so. In my next video, I want to discuss the engineering and economics that will enable the metaverse to become the next digital frontier, and the challenges these players will encounter in their conquest. So stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video and want to support me making other videos about weird terms that CEOs steal from 90s sci-fi authors, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the Metaverse Madness trilogy. I'm Hank from Enginomics. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.